What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we are talking Fallout Episode 7, The Handoff. But before we get into all of that fun, Dave, Doug, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I am fan-freaking-tastic. I had a chance, of course, to watch this twice. I worked a little bit late today, so I didn't get to see it a third time. But the writing on the show is amazing. I can't wait to talk about it. Doug, how are you doing?
Well, Dave, let me tell you, I am so okie dokie. I'm just the okiest of dokiest. And yeah, you're right. The writing on the show is phenomenal. But I'd also like to just give a brief shout out to Keith real quick. For all of you out there that do not know, Keith is the one that, puts together all of the scenes and everything, runs OBS in the background. He's basically the one running the show that you guys all get to see while we're live. And the reason why I'm giving him next special shout out is I tried setting up my own OBS to stream video games, and I am an idiot. I'm trying my hardest to figure out how this thing works. And I'm like trying to arrange my scenes and save them. Like, wait a minute, does this go here? Does that go there? Whatever. I am clearly
not an idiot.
If you ever need help, I can jump on a Zoom and we can go through it.
Nice. I might have to ask you for that. But, Keith, sir, how are you doing?
Well, gentlemen, I am tickled pink because things are rosy. And I just want to say, Dave really likes to throw me off because when he was talking, he sounded so unenergetic. He's like, I gotta tell you about this show. And I'm like, oh my God, he hated this episode. And he's like, the writing is just tremendous. And I'm like, dude, why do you do that to me?
Sometimes I'm that blown away.
So, without further ado, let's talk episode 7, the penultimate episode of season 2.
You said it right. Good job.
I know. I was practicing. I mean, yeah, I just said it right. Didn't practice or anything. I don't know what you're talking about. But we get a flashback, which is standard operating procedures for the show. Always relevant, always good. And now we get Steph, who we see her and her mom escaping from an internment camp in America-occupied Canada. And her mother passes from being mortally wounded, and Steph is, what is the word I'm looking for? Cold-blooded. She is just on a murderous rampage to get out of Canada.
I mean, do you blame her? She and her mother apparently escaped from an internment camp, and then this dude in power armor goes up to them as they're trying to escape and says, "Get back to the internment camp, hosers." I know it's supposed to be a serious, heavy scene, but I couldn't help but laugh.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted Steph to look and be like, I'm not a hoser, you're a hoser, eh?
You take off, eh?
I thought that took the seriousness out of the situation, actually. And then he turns, he's like, what the hell? But when she said that, when her mom said that at that moment, don't treat them like they're people, treat them like they're Americans. I'm like, whoa! Is that the right time to say that right now? You know what I mean? And I didn't get it at first, but I got it later in the show, why she said it. But Steph, like, after that scene, after that opening sequence, she could have just asked that guy for pork and beans. He might have wanted to share, you don't know. But
oh, man.
She didn't want to share, I'll tell you that much.
No, she definitely didn't. And then she just leaves her knife in the poor border guard's stomach. You don't leave weapons behind.
Use that later.
Are you a rookie? It was like, I believe the Twitch streamer that Doug was watching play Fallout 4 for the first time. Yes. Didn't know what to do.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like,
Steph,
dude,
you're not thinking. You're not thinking.
No.
She's not properly trained either.
True.
No.
I mean, she's learning on the job, so.
Now, for those of you out there that are like wondering what the heck, this was all about, obviously they haven't really gone into too much detail about this in the shows, in season 1 or 2, but at this point in the game, in the world of Fallout, the United States occupied and eventually annexed Canada, and they would give it names like Little America or the Big 51, referring to it as the 51st state, the entirety of Canada. And anybody who didn't submit to American rule were put in internment camps. And I did not actually expect them to go that detailed into it, because that's stuff that you see in kind of the older Fallout games. I don't think they really make mention of it too much in the later games.
They will occasionally when you find a little magazine or something or a thing. They'll talk about it slightly, but it is not anything that's right on the forefront like it is now. Of course, we find out later too, like Dave was saying, just how much people think of Canadians. But, she ends up running into Coop, she runs into Hank, and she ends up getting a job at Vault Tec and getting to go to Vault 31. It was interesting seeing what a master manipulator she was and how that, she was that before she became the overseer. And it's nice seeing things like that where it's kind of groomed and you understand it a little better. Where she escaped from, she's a survivalist. She is not going to play nice. But after watching that, I'm like, okay, what is in that case?
I guess now
what's in the box?
Yeah. But yeah, now it really fits with what her mother said with her dying breath as, they are trying to escape. Like, hey, I know I raised you Catholic. I know, I told you to do the right thing. Throw that out the window. You don't have to do that anymore. Like what Dave was saying, she basically told her, don't think of them as people. You got to think of them as Americans, and you got to climb to the top. You got to make yourself safe, and that's exactly what she's doing. She somehow found her way to New Vegas, ended up working at the Lucky 51.
Lucky 38.
Wait, Lucky 38. Thank you.
You got the 54. You got the big 51 stuck in your head.
Thank you. I'm like, wait, that didn't sound right when it came out of my mouth. Yeah. She ended up working at Robert House's own casino hotel, which means we saw how many famous people were hanging out there. So she's using that to her advantage. And sure enough, as you pointed out, Keith, she ends up meeting Cooper Howard, who says, hey, if you really want to work for Vault Tec, you got to ask this guy, and points to Hank. So, yeah, and now that does make a little bit more sense. I was wondering why she was aware of Hank's, case. Why she was, aware of that, how she knew about it. And now you can see they must have been pretty close prior to the war.
Now, crazy theory time. Crazy theory alert. What if we find out Lucy is actually Steph and Hank's kid that they had pre-war that went into cryo with them? Hank was brought out first and then brought Lucy out. And Steph stayed in cryo longer. And by the time she got out, he had already remarried, had another kid with his new wife, so she couldn't really see anything. But maybe inside that case is proof that Lucy is her daughter.
See, I like that theory, but I don't know that Lucy's, or perhaps not Lucy's, mom would have then bought that, because the idea that these people were coming from cryo tanks, they didn't know any of that stuff. They knew they were coming from Vault 31, but I don't know. I wonder if she would have been okay with this guy coming out saying, hey, I'm here to be your husband. Also, by the way, I've got a kid.
I'm sure it happens a lot in the wasteland. The mother gets killed.
Oh, yeah,
and maybe
definitely.
she was just, she seemed like a very maternal person, and maybe she just said, okay, I'm going to take, motherhood for this kid that...
Well, that would definitely explain the differences in personalities between Lucy and her brother.
Yes, it would.
So, yeah.
I have questions about that, though, because...
I'm curious. Huh?
Can you age in the cryopod? Aren't they all coming out at the same age after they've been frozen for 200 years?
Yeah, but they were released at different times.
Yeah, Hank came out before Steph.
Okay, but they were already fully grown. Could Lucy grow from a baby in there?
No.
Mm-mm.
So you're saying they took Lucy out when she was just a baby, body wise?
What I think happened is they had Lucy and the bombs dropped, so they had to put her in cryo. If that theory is true, they had to put her in cryo as a baby, and she would have came out of cryo as a baby also. She wouldn't have aged at all in there. That's what the freezy stuff does. It's science, Dave. They freeze you and you can't age.
Well, what I was going to say is that, like, when Betty said she came out of cryo 40 years ago, she probably still looked like the Betty in the flashback.
Correct.
Yes, she did.
And now she's aged 40 years. And then Stephanie, who knows Steph, whatever. Hey, we're close, I guess. Like, she obviously came out a lot later than Betty. But Betty still knew her previously.
Right, they all knew each other from Vault Tec.
And so Steph just looks so much younger than Betty, but Betty's the same age.
Yep.
Yeah,
that kind
basically.
of for Betty.
Well, hold up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're getting it.
He's got one. Actually.
Well, actually, technically speaking, spoilers, for those that don't know anything about the opening of Fallout 4, what Keith is referencing, this idea of a baby going into cryo, that's exactly how Fallout 4 opens. Is you've got the mother and the father both going into their own separate decontamination chambers, as Vault Tec puts it, only to secretly freeze them. And yes, depending on who you play as, if you decide to play as the male character or the female character, the opposite will then go in holding the baby and get frozen together. I mean, decontaminated together for 200 years.
I wonder, like, is a baby's ready? I mean, this is probably thinking too much about realism. Is a baby's body, would it be just be ready to be cryo, or wouldn't you have to live a certain amount first?
I doubt it. But then again, does radiation turn you into a zombie?
Or a Deathclaw. Or
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure Deathclaws are real. I'm sure they're working on them right now. But
they probably they're already like the government watched this episode like shit. How did they know?
You haven't been to Alaska? Of course they're all over the place up there.
Right.
You can't kick a stick without hitting a Deathclaw.
Yeah. You can't throw a stick without hitting Deathclaw.
Oh, hey there! Welcome to Alaska. I'm a Deathclaw.
But then, we're still in the past, we see that Cooper Howard talking to Congresswoman Diane Welch. He's basically deciding to give the cold fusion to the president, which seems like a great idea unless you know Fallout lore and know that the Enclave was basically the government. We've heard rumblings that the Enclave started the Great War, which kind of took away from what we've heard in games and other things. But they are starting to make the Enclave. I think we're going to get a reveal next episode of the Enclave in the present.
I think so too. And by the way, I love the actor that they chose to play the president.
I was going to say, we all stand that guy, so it's cool.
Yes.
Anytime you see Clancy Brown, you know you're
Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my goodness, you guys got us Ron Perlman and you got us Clancy Brown. Thank you. I am enjoying this wonderful feast. Please give me more. I am a glutton. But yeah, I also like how he's... Cooper is honest, and I'm glad that he said what he said to her, because when he sat down to say, his reasoning why he's talking to her about cold fusion in the first place is like, I know I need to give this to a good person, and you're like the best person that I know. But he basically is just like, you're just so bad at selling it. Like, I don't understand how you can, and he's thinking about how she's, trying to make her speech and she's getting pushed down and carried off by guards and everything. And you can tell that he's thinking, I needed to be somebody good, but I needed to be somebody who can get things done. And I don't know if it was him or her that proposed to the president. Was it her idea or was it his?
It was hers, because she said the president's in town, and he's like, you could set up a meeting?
I thought so. Because then if that's the case, then I have a theory.
Oh, let's hear it.
What if she was also part of the... I mean, possibly. We'll talk a little bit more about her fate later on, but what if she was also part of the Enclave, but was just being used by them?
As soon as she offered the president and he got it, I was like, she's definitely Enclave. And then we can talk about this scene at the end of the show.
We're not going to jump to the end. We don't do that here.
Never.
No.
And we get to see Norm again. he's waking up from almost being choked to death.
Oh,
And
poor Norm.
of course, they're all talking around him, and they notice he's waking up, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna find it. No, they bash him over the head. I was like,
Like,
okay.
I like what the guy says just before. He's like, "This is not going to be good for your head," and he does it anyway.
And these buds, they're idiots. These people are they will believe anything you say to them.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay with everything. Is that how the world was? What year did they say it happened? 2296 or some crap?
2296, yeah.
And people are just like that. They're getting hired to be at these executive positions at that level of intelligence.
Yeah.
How far does our society sink before this happens? It's incredible. These people are complete morons.
Yeah, and you can tell that like they probably all want to get rid of him, but you can tell they need somebody else to suggest it. And when he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read in a handbook, probably that we've got to execute him." Most likely
punishable by death. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And they're like, well, if you're pretty sure, that's that's good enough. That's basically that's a positive. That's 100%.
They just need Cooper Howard there to walk over and just shoot him. Whoa.
I was a little frustrated with Norm there. Claudia risks her life to get him up, and he's like, I gotta do one thing, and he stays on there forever talking to. He's not sure anyone's on the other end, or if it's even being recorded or anything like that. And he's just risking his life to sit there and say something to probably nobody. I was like, what are you doing, man? Get out of there. But maybe that's just this Vault mentality that he didn't think.
Remember, he was also choked out and smashed in the head with a rock. So
it's not quite.
Well, you got to suspend some disbelief there if he's, if he's got to think that he's got to send this message. If he's coherent enough for that, then why wouldn't he have the critical thinking to realize that they're going to be coming?
I think he thought he could send out the message and still get out safely, because he didn't think there would be another place with radio equipment that was working that he could send it out. So I think he was almost willing to get captured again as long as he got the message out. Is how I'm just
saying that was a dumb move, very dumb.
See, I disagree. I don't think it was dumb per se. I think he was smart enough to know he may not have another chance to ever get this message out, and it was more important for people to know that than for him to live, basically. He was willing to sacrifice himself.
I tend to think the same thing. I'm pretty sure it was a last-ditch effort. He probably figured, look, there's a good chance that they're going to catch me before I get out of here again anyway. I may as well try and get a message out and get somebody stronger than me. Also, I gotta ask my dad what's going on with all my friends and family down there. Which I'm guessing he must not know then.
He must not. He will soon, though. But Barb finally gives Steph the box. She's willing to, give her 50% of the water, like was agreed on. And then we get Chet and Steph's wedding. And I love the fact that he's like, I don't.
Oh, wait, hold on. You skipped past prior to the wedding.
When
he's washing the dishes.
Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about Woody disappearing. I almost forgot that. Yeah, he's washing the dishes. Something stuck in the food. What's called the food grinder? What the hell?
Garbage.
Garbage disposal, yes.
Disposal, thank you.
And something is stuck in there. He pulls it out. It looks like Woody's glasses. And, of course, Chet, being, a Vault Tec slappy, puts them back in, grinds them up. And pretty sure those are Woody's glasses.
Yeah.
And then we get to their wedding. He says, I don't. And he's talking about Woody being gone and accuses Steph of killing him, basically. And says she's 200 years old. And everyone's like, oh, my gosh. And then he says she's
worst of all, she's a Canadian. And that's the thing. That's the thing that gets everybody riled up. I also like the one dude who says, so after you found the glasses, what'd you do with them? I might have shoved them back in the garbage disposal. Yeah, that would have been good proof. Probably shouldn't have done that.
But Steph seemed to be the one who was in control of everything, and one little misstep, just keeping her license, which, talk about a silly move. She should have burned that thing, but probably sentimental. Maybe she couldn't get rid of it because of what she went through. Who knows what? But that, not only is 33 openly rebelling with Reg and his snack budget, but now Vault 32 is going crazy. So we are getting closer and closer to having Vault, purists versus crazy people versus or rebels versus people wanting to go to the surface. We're about to see what we hear happens in every Vault, and I'm looking forward to how this all plays out, because it's gonna get pretty ugly there probably next week. And then we go back. We get Lucy back at the Vault Tec facility with her dad in a pretty little yellow dress, seemingly understanding after going down to the mainframe and seeing the Legion guy sweeping up and very calm and polite and thing, that you think that she's like, okay, I get this. We need to do this. The wasteland is an ugly place and all this good stuff, but they get up to have dinner, and she ends up taking her dad's Pit Boy and handcuffing him to the oven so he cannot get away.
I do like the way that all played out, though. So on their way down to the mainframe, I like that Hank sees this as, oh, good, I get to teach my daughter how to drive. Because, of course, that's never anything they would have had to do in the vault. It's nothing that she would have ever needed to use. So, like, when he's like, well, we should probably take the golf cart. And she's like, what's a golf cart? And just a smile on his face. And by the way, he's still in handcuffs. So he's trying to teach her, okay, now you don't have to use both feet. It's just one foot. She's like, but there's two pedals. Yeah, I know, but it's hilarious just watching her bumping into the wall, trying to take sharp turns. And yeah, the way that they, that you're watching her develop her, or make up her mind, essentially, is, yeah, as you described, she sees the legionary, the same one that was like going to kill her. And we see him, and he's pacified, and he's nice, and he's friendly, and he doesn't seem to have any sort of aggressive feelings towards her or anybody else. Is just doing his thing. But then, as they're having dinner, and they're being served by none other than the same NCR guy who saved Lucy's life, the same guy who put her on the buff out, the one who basically brought her back from the brink. This guy wasn't evil. This guy wasn't, putting anyone on crosses, wasn't, as Hank puts it, well, the NCR, they've got taxes and not a great foreign policy. And that's his, so they're basically the same as the Legion. And I think it was that's what finally made up her mind. She's like, no, I can't do this. I cannot be a part of this. He's been manipulating me from the beginning. There is no way that I can be okay with, sure, it's getting rid of the bad ones, but at the same time, at what cost? I wouldn't want to erase the memories, because she looks at him, she says, do you even remember me? Well, yeah, sure, from this morning. No, do you remember me from before on the hill when you saved my life? What about the NCR? And he looks kind of confused. What are you talking about? So yeah, I am glad that she's got some brains still in that head of hers, and I think she made the right call.
She definitely, that would be the move I would make if I was playing the game and that happened, so yes. Yeah. I think so. But, well, we'll get to what happens later. We'll talk, because we do see my new favorite trio, Thaddeus, Maximus, and Cooper.
And the Ghoul.
And, they go to an NCR storage facility with all these weapons and everything. And my favorite part is Thaddeus keeps going up to the Ghoul like, hey, we're the same, right? And he never answers him. Like, the Ghoul knows he's not Ghoul.
We're just talking Ghoul stuff.
And he's like, is this normal? And you see the mouth on his shoulder. Right. And he just, looks at him like,
what the hell is wrong with you, man? No. You can tell Cooper wants to look at him and be like, you're not a Ghoul, kid. I don't know how to break this to you, but you're something else entirely. I don't have a mouth here. You're not supposed to have a mouth there.
Yeah, just waiting for my nose to fall off any day. Just waiting for it to fall off.
Oh my god! Just hurry up and fall off, darn it! Oh, and I love the fact they're showing off the weapons that we know from the game too, and that Gauze rifle. That was, I mean, perfect 1-for-1.
It looked amazing. And they end up, because he had told them, if we're going to go get to where Lucy and everybody is, we need to weaponize. And of course, full circle moment for Maximus. He gets that NCR power armor that, you know, in Shady Sands, that was kind of NCR controlled. So he is coming back to really the beginning, like he says, when they're walking through, you know, New Vegas to go get the... Can you guys hear me? I can't hear you guys. Hold on a sec.
Can you hear us now?
I can.
Okay. So what's weird is I can hear you on Zoom, and I can hear you on Twitch too.
Yeah, it was just these got
Oh, did they
disconnected.
die or something?
So I couldn't hear you guys. Yeah, they didn't die. I think they got connected to my son's iPad or something else. So I just had to reconnect them real quick. That was weird.
I've had that happen with my Spotify before. It'll suddenly like Bluetooth connect to something else and be like, wait, where's my music? Why? Thought it was just listening to it. So yeah, I know how that goes. But anyway, back to where we were. You were you were talking about that awesome power armor.
Yes.
That they revealed.
They're walking through New Vegas. He's like all fired up. Our boy Thaddeus's arm falls off. And he's like,
oh my God.
It's okay. You know, I can still hold the gun and
he looks at Cooper like, this is normal for ghouls, right? And again, Cooper gives him that same look like, yeah, sure, kid.
One of these days you're going to find out you're not really a ghoul.
Probably sooner rather than later.
Now, I kept thinking the whole time as Cooper was leaving him to fight the Deathclaws, which was a sweet fight, him with the razor blades on his thing. That was really cool. Maximus is really coming into his own as a fighter because we all know his intelligence isn't as high as some of the others.
No.
So
I'm noticing he is way better unarmed than he is with, like, you know, any sort of gun. It seems like he has terrible aim with guns, but you give him power armor fists and, you know, now these blades, oh, he's good to go. He'll tear everything up that gets in his way. When I went back to watch the first season before the second season came out, I noticed that about him, that every time he was given the opportunity to use like another weapon, he preferred his fists.
I didn't
know
know
he's a good fighter outside the outfit too, because he took down that guy who was like twice his size.
That's right. When they were like just fighting unarmed in the Area 51. Forgot about that.
Seems like
yeah,
years
good point.
ago. That was just earlier this season.
I know. A couple of weeks ago.
But Cooper gets into 38, gets to where he knows that Robert House was. And it's funny because we got two sort of big reveals at the end right here. He ends up putting the cold fusion into, you know, House's stuff. It lights it powers up everything, and we see, I don't want to say AI Robert House, but definitely him electronically, I suppose. I don't know.
His
really.
Arnim Zola.
Yes, his Arnim Zola, yes.
Probably.
And we see Lucy get into the vault at the end to destroy the mainframe to stop the chip. And we see...
The mainframe.
Yes. And we see the Congresswoman. Her head, at least. Something from Futurama. Her head in the water. And just, you know, connections coming out from it. And I was like, okay, she's definitely the Enclave. The Enclave... Hank was definitely working with the Enclave, probably from the get-go. And I think they are about to storm New Vegas because they want their cold fusion back, and they're gonna know that Robert House now has it because he's probably gonna have his defenses come back up online and everything that he had before. I'm thinking that Hank was working with the Enclave, but seeing really her head after knowing she was working close with the president, and possibly the last time we see cold fusion in the flashback is in the president's hands. And we know it started off with the Enclave in season 1 when, what's his name escaped with it?
Wilzig.
Yeah, thank you, Wilzig. So I'm like, oh, perfect ending leading into the finale.
Now, a little fun fact about that Congresswoman. Did you know that shortly before the Great War, she was actually re-elected to office?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. Turns out she was ahead in the polls.
Yeah.
Thank you for your channel points for the debt. Wait a minute. Nobody turned.
I'm gonna say, what, did she run unopposed or something? But you already made your joke.
Yeah, her opponent just didn't have a body in the game.
Had no skin in the game.
Yeah, there you go.
Good God, you two. I'm just trying to think now. What's next?
I know. We only have one episode left. I cannot believe. I know that we were just commenting, saying like, it felt like so long ago that we were watching that fight scene with Maximus, but it also feels like it really went by super quick.
No, it just feels like a long time ago because I feel like there's so much character development and stuff going on in the show.
Yeah.
That was Maximus, seemed like years ago when he was just a kid. He's grown so much in front of our eyes. Yeah. But man, we're probably, if she does take out the mainframe, is everyone who, how are all those people that were brainwashed, how are they going to react? Are they going to get their memories back? Are they still going to be not as nice, but still not have their memories? Or we could just see everybody fighting. There'll be probably people loyal to Hank, people just wanting to get out, people angry that this happened. There may just be an actual, brouhaha within Vault Tec if she does destroy it. We didn't see her actually take it out yet, and she may be stopped or something, or Robert House's stuff coming online may change something in some way.
But wow, way too I know that that Maximus basically gave us the name of the episode when the power armor was revealed. Caleb? Yeah.
What does it say, bud?
It says Caleb.
Player who I hate. He was being really toxic.
He was being toxic.
I'm trying to report him to the Discord.
Okay.
He called someone retarded multiple times.
Oh, that's not right.
Huh.
Well, if you need help when I'm done, I'll help you, buddy. But it is almost bedtime for school, too, bud. It hasn't been canceled yet.
One thing I hope it gets banned, because he said a reportable offense is spawn camping chickens. And he was spawn camping chickens.
Okay.
And how is it a bannable offense if he's doing it?
Don't know, bud. But I don't remember where I was, but I also wonder, we know from the flashbacks that House was very good at predicting what would happen and knowing certain things. Is he going to know that Cooper is the one who, I had a pretty good idea that you were going to be the one that brings me back? And, where are we? Have the Enclave made their move yet against, the United States? Have they shown their thing? I think we might see an alliance between the Ghoul and Mr. House a little bit, only because he has information that's going to help them once the Enclave show their muscle, I think.
Also, we don't know if he's going to let House keep it either, Cold Fusion, because the way that he phrased it to Maximus, it says, in order to get it to Lucy, you got to give it to a bad person first. So I'm wondering if this is just like a temporary thing in order to get to... I don't know where this Vault Tec headquarters is. It seems like it's all underground, and I'm starting to wonder if it is like beneath the Lucky 38.
They want us to believe that, I think.
Because yeah, you notice like the side by side, they kept showing Lucy going into the mainframe as Cooper is opening the doors for the thing. So I thought for sure, oh, she's gonna open up the doors and the mainframe will be like Mr. House or something. Like I thought that's the reveal they were going for. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly yet where where this Vault Tec headquarters is, how far away Lucy is, but it seems like at least that this is the Ghoul's plan. We've got to get House back up and running, and this is the way that we're going to, save Lucy, aka also get my family.
Yes.
Yeah, because with that deal that he made, he didn't get his side of it. He totally gave up Lucy and got nothing for it.
Yep.
So I could see him working with House.
Yep. He will get what he wants one way or another. And it may be that he needs House to fight the Enclave, especially if House realizes if they are under the Lucky 38 and Hank is working with the Enclave and they're trying to enslave everybody and take everything over, he's going to want to stop that. Not because he's a nice guy, but because they're invading his city. That New Vegas is Robert House's city, so they may have to team up just because it's beneficial to both of them. And
now, I have another question. What do you two think is going to happen to Freeside now that Maximus was kind of knocked on his ass by a Deathclaw that now has free reign? The gates are open.
I go back and forth on this. I still think probably the Enclave can control the Deathclaws, and that's why they were around Lucky 38, because they didn't want anyone getting into that Vault Tec facility that is really theirs. So I don't know if the Deathclaw will be rampaging through Freeside. They certainly want us to think that with the way Maximus got busted through the gates and it looked like it was ready to come out. But I don't know if it will. One might, but it may be called back, and that may be how we find out that these things are actually being controlled by another entity or something.
That's what I think. Yeah, they're gonna expect them to come charging through that gate, and they're not going to. And they're gonna be like, all right, what's going on?
Yeah, that could be. I didn't even think of that.
What else did I have? Oh, and I think in this final, I don't think we'll see it till the end. Maybe a post-credit scene, maybe something along that. But I think we are going to see maybe an Enclave bunker, some Enclave soldiers, something. Or we'll see a computer with maybe a famous actor's voice, possibly. Maybe someone who played the president in the past, perhaps, maybe. We'll have to see. But, I do think their plan will be to restore America, which, if anyone's played the games, their way of restoring America is murdering a lot of people to get there. So they won't be...
It would definitely explain Hank's outlook on things, deciding that he needs to wipe out any civilization in order for Vault Tec to do Reclamation Day.
Yep.
I mean, they're either going to be turned with those little units, or they're going to die. That's Hank's world right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, true. That'll just be interesting to see, is Hank going to live? Is he going to be able to escape? Is something going to happen if she does shut off the mainframe? That there's going to be people siding with him, against him?
I think they're going to be basically put into like a default state. Like they're not going to have the good thought waves that are coming from the Congresswoman to pacify them. And I think they're just going to be angry and confused and probably violent. Not knowing who or what, who they are, where they are, why they're there. I think they're just going to attack on instinct.
And once those memories are removed, if he turns off the device or if the mainframe gets stopped, do they come back? Or are they just permanently gone?
He said it was permanent. Lucy asked him.
So, yeah, they're going to be confused, like, who am I?
Yeah.
What am I? What are these?
How did I get here? Another Rick and Morty reference. How did I get here?
What are these noises coming from my mouth? Ah!
I feel like I was happy a minute ago, and now I don't know what's going on.
Now, another thing, what if we, because of the cold fusion now being in House's hands, are we going to see the Enclave coming forward, but also the Brotherhood?
What's left of them?
Yeah, what's left of them?
Probably.
So we may see like almost a three-way war: Enclave versus New Vegas versus, what's left of the Brotherhood and all that. Maybe they're going to reform. Maybe even under Maximus, if he's going to be building a reputation, and he has been sort of continuing down in a leadership type role throughout this series, and maybe he's going to start a new faction. What was the one that they thought was coming?
The Commonwealth.
Yeah, the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth may even show up because this is the most powerful relic in the wasteland. So I think everyone's going to want it. I don't know if they're going to have a little battle about it to end season 2, and then maybe trying to get it as season 3, because I don't think House is going to be able to hold on to it. I think it's going to. No one's been able to.
It's hard to without a physical form. It's hard to hold on to it.
Now they also, people online are also saying that we haven't seen the end of the Legion, saying that there were a couple of scenes in the trailer that showed Macaulay Culkin's character killing a few other Legionaries.
Yep.
And that we haven't seen that scene yet in the show. So
I was going to ask if you guys did watch the preview for next week, and I saw him in it. I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, and that's good. Okay, so we've got the Legion running around. Mm-hmm. 4-way battle.
And now we need to find out if Lucy is going to end up getting her brother's message. Is she going to run to his rescue?
Yeah, it probably did filter into the radio that they have at Vault Tec there. I didn't even think of that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she may.
Are those messages recorded?
They might be. They're not. It's not guaranteed that they're recorded. Some of them are. If you play the games, every now and again, your radio will tune to some message that's been set to repeat. And,
so if she wasn't there and it wasn't recorded, she won't get the message. But
correct.
If it is recorded, I mean, she just happened to be driving by, right, when he was talking?
She was, yes.
But she didn't hear it, obviously, because she didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Or her dad, Hank, will use that. This was recorded. Oh. Look, we've got to help him. This is going on. He needs your help, and maybe try to, because he is a master manipulator. He knows how to push all the right buttons and do everything that he needs to do to get his way.
The one thing that I just keep thinking about since I watched the episode is how many elements that they are putting in this series that are just pure dark humor. And it's not something that you see that often, but for them to start with, Cooper talking to this congresswoman saying, you're the nicest person that I know. I can't think of a better person to give cold fusion to. I just wish you had a spine, but really I don't see, anyone, I don't know anyone better than you. Only for them to flip that on its head and give us a reverse Uno. Oh yeah, she's so nice and so good. We're gonna put Robert House's headgear on her and pump her good vibes into these zombie people. Like that, I'm watching. I'm like, that is the most Fallout thing they could have done.
It really is. But that's all the what nexuses I have. Do you guys have any more theories, thoughts on what we're going to see next week, or even into season 3?
The only I don't really have a theory so much as I just wonder. I'm wondering out loud if we're going to be presented with like a new location or a new unseen faction so far towards the end, because I keep thinking about how season 1 ended with Hank marching off in power armor towards the New Vegas skyline, and that was like the thing that everybody's freaking out about, like, oh my god, they're doing New Vegas, oh yes, they're gonna show. So I'm wondering, is somebody, Hank, maybe someone going to be going to some other location that is famous in in the Fallout games, Are we going to see Appalachia from Fallout 76? Are we going to travel all the way to the other side of the country and see Boston from Fallout 4?
Or
Are we going to go to
DC?
DC from Fallout 3? Like all these different locations that I could potentially go to for Season 3. Also, there are, I'm sure we're going to see the Enclave, like what you suggested, but I'm wondering, are we going to see any other, raider gangs or some other group? Will it turn out that the Institute is still around? Are they going to show up?
Oh, I didn't even think of them. Yeah. Or the super
No.
mutants. We know that one super
Yeah.
mutant seemed to be gathering more of his
Right,
own.
I forgot about that. We do need to see more super mutants.
That's a seed planted right there. That's what I was thinking is going to play out down the road.
yeah.
Like, I don't know how many seasons they got planned, but that's a good plant in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because they haven't gone back to it at all. So, I mean, obviously it's been one show, but there's no hint that he's gonna be back on before the season's over, which means future seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way you set stuff up. And it really does. Everything, when Dave was first mentioning how great the writing is on this show, they do a great job of knowing exactly where they want to keep going, seemingly 5-6 seasons probably down the line. So they're writing for things now, and it's just a joy to watch. Should we take this time to rate this episode, gentlemen?
I think we should.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me pull up my notes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, a few things that I wanted to mention. Like I already mentioned that Stephanie, she could have just asked for pork and beans, but the guy probably would have shared it with her. But we needed to see that's her mom getting killed just made her a psycho. She was a scared little person before that, but now she's got nothing to lose. She's got nothing and no one to lose. So much that she doesn't even care about her baby that she had. Hank was so confident that Lucy would be on board after he showed her everything that he's showing her everything. And he shows her where she can shut everything down, and he calmly walks her through it. Let's take the golf cart. What's a golf cart? He is so confident that his way of thinking will rub off on her, not just because she's his daughter, but that it's just going to make sense to her, right? And the Ghoul, he was almost happy, but certainly impressed by how highly Maximus thinks of Lucy. Now, I don't think that I don't know if the Ghoul thinks just as highly of Lucy after what happened, or if he's just like, all right, well, I can use this to get what I need, But clearly, when Maximus was talking about how pure he thought Lucy was, the Ghoul smiled. So he's like, all right, this guy, I'm impressed. He actually has faith in somebody. And his line with, why can't good people like you learn to sell it better? And I kind of feel like that in today's world, in real life. Like when there's a message out there, like for instance, I'm just going to say like national healthcare or something, and they don't know how to package it to the public. You don't know how to say it so that it makes sense. And I don't know, to me, it's really simple. But to most people, they struggle with that. And that's very relatable part of the show that he said that right there. And the senator is very, she was very Nikola Tesla in saying that if I got cold fusion, I would hand it over to the world and let the whole world use it. That's what Tesla wanted to do. And that's what probably, they should have done. But that's what she should have done as well. But we obviously know it didn't go that way. I already went over how buds are really kind of stupid. And they'll do anything and they could believe in anything. I did like Betty's on this episode. Betty had a mysterious side where, what was it she said that, you better give us the water, and if you don't, and then Steph cuts her off. And I'm like, okay, Betty was going to get dark. Betty was going to offer up a consequence, but she held back. So I think, on the surface, Betty is really pure, and she's really out for the people. But I think that if she's messed with, we're going to see a different side of her. And we're getting to that point where she's going to get messed with by Steph if she actually delivers the water. You know what I mean?
Well, it may be out of her hands at this point.
Mm.
She's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
They ran her ass off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes.
She better have like an escape hatch in that office.
That's true. Maybe she can escape through the wiring in the computer. I was noticing that when Lucy was wearing the dress, she wasn't walking like a lady. She was walking like a warrior, when she was going down the hall wearing those boots still. But at least she could finally take off those vault clothes and wash them. How long has she been wearing them? A year and a half? I thought that was kind of funny. Let's see here. Yeah, I thought Chet kind of blew it when he grind up those the glasses. There was nothing he could do, but like Doug said, oh yeah, and she's Canadian. Boom. All right, now you're in trouble, lady. For just for being Canadian. It was nice. Oh, okay. That was the reference I was speaking of, where her mother was saying, "Don't treat them like people, treat them like Americans." Nice reference back to that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously something happened in the game. What happened in life that made Americans think that they couldn't and put everybody else in internment camps? What happened there? I liked how Doug. Shh, it's not a political show. Nice job for the Maximus and the Ghoul working together. I mean, especially when Thaddeus's arm fell off, they're just kind of like, all right, well, and then there were two. I can still hold my arm as long as I can put my finger on the trigger. I should be okay. No, all right. And Maximus turned out to be pretty badass right there until he got his ass kicked. But he lasted a lot longer than I thought he would. Yeah,
longer than I would have.
And when the Ghoul goes into the same room where he met Robert House and got the cold fusion, that's the first thing I thought, Arnim Zola. And is he going to be able to project himself into other computers? Or does he have a body like that? I forget what the name of that other guy is that walks around, the cowboy guy.
Victor?
Yeah, Victor.
Is he going to be able to put himself into other things now that he's got the cold fusion run? Is he going to be able to put himself into other things and move around? And in that case, he would be able to have a physical form to keep the cold fusion. So that's, that could happen down the road. I guess that's what's next I could have offered up there.
What if he puts himself into Fisto?
But what I'm saying is, all that this show is just amazing, and like we were saying, they're dropping hints in the series that can pay off years down the road. The writing is just getting better. At first I thought it was like fun kind of really good writing, and now this is really getting deep as well. So I think this is a fantastic show. I'm going to give it 8.75 this week.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, this show just keeps building and building. Some people might even look at this episode as almost kind of a bridge episode leading into the finale. But so much happened, so much went on, so much world building. I couldn't believe when it was over. I was like, writing down my summary and putting my thoughts together. And I'm like, God dang, that a lot happened. I mean, we had, learning Steph's backstory, how it intersected with Cooper's and Hank's. And how, Cooper decided to give the cold fusion to the Congresswoman, who we saw a few episodes ago. I never thought we would see her again. I thought it was a joke kind of moment, like she was just kind of a buffoon Congresswoman, and now she's playing a big role in things that are happening towards the end of the season. And everything's just coming along, with Maximus and Thaddeus and the Ghoul being together, probably going to, find Lucy and team up again, and things will... Everything just seems to have its purpose. Every throwaway character, seemingly, or line comes back. And I'm just absolutely amazed at how great these writers have weaved it all together. And that's not even going into how great the acting is on this show. I mean, Kyle MacLachlan, Walter Goggins, everybody is just tremendous. Even the newbies, even Maximus, the guy who plays Thaddeus, just cracks me up. I can't, every time he talks, I just laugh because it's so, you know, he's like a people pleaser. And he wants to be friends with everybody, and it just comes off as great. And the guy playing it is perfect at it. And I think last week I gave last week's a 9. I'm giving this a 9 too. I thought it was just extremely well executed, extremely well acted. Everything about it was great. And the cliffhanger they left us on leading into next week was perfect.
Could not agree more. Seriously, this show just keeps getting phenomenally better. I totally agree with you, Dave. The writing can be like can be a little goofy at times. I mean, most of the show can be very goofy at times, but yeah, they're as it's inching towards the season finale next week. It seems like it's getting a bit more serious. Yeah, they've got the silly moments still here and there, but it's definitely, we're realizing that there's a lot of things at play, things that I don't even think everybody else is really aware of. Like, Keith mentioned during our breakdown and review that there's a good chance the Enclave has been running things from the beginning. They could be the ones who are controlling the Deathclaws, sent them to New Vegas. They're probably coming after Cold Fusion to get their hands back on it, since it was given to them to begin with. In fact, it kind of makes me think about when David brought up Victor a minute ago, mentioning how Cooper had, went to go see him at one point, and Victor brings up, if you remember from that episode, he even says to Cooper, like, oh yeah, Mr. House, he was looking for that cold fusion, but you had something to do with that, didn't you? That was all about you, didn't you? Wasn't that your fault that House didn't have it? And now it's got me thinking, like, this must have been haunting Cooper for a long time. And I'm also wondering now, especially after these flashbacks and watching it seemed like he made up with his wife, I'm wondering, was the divorce just a show? Was it them acting in order for her to be able to still be okay in the eyes of Vault Tec? Has she now decided that, hey, we still got to play nice and pretend like I'm doing this for them? And obviously they're going to have to find some way to explain why, Hank got knocked out and no longer has the cold fusion to give to Mr. House. So I don't know what story they're going to try and sell, but I have a feeling it has to do with why they got divorced, now that it seems like it may actually all be an act. But yeah, so much happened in this episode. You gentlemen are not wrong. So much happened. And I was sitting there as I was watching the episode for the second or possibly third time, that I was like, boy, I'm pretty sure we checked in with everybody. We stopped by to see, what the Ghoul and what Maximus and Thaddeus were up to. We stopped back in to see, what the deal was with Lucy and Hank. We also got to see Bud's Buds, and it's like, oh wow, okay. And we got to revisit Freeside, and I am so glad that we did, because, and I said this about the vaults too, as much work and effort went into building all of these physical sets. None of these are in a volume like what we're used to seeing with, like, the Star Wars shows. These are all physical sets. The amount of work and effort that had to have gone into building these, I would hate to see it used for like one scene and then never show up again. So I'm glad we got to see New Vegas again. I'm glad we got to see the Lucky 38 again. I'm glad we got to spend a little bit of time in Freeside, and might be the last time we spend in Freeside, depending on how the next episode goes. But yeah, everything was phenomenal with this episode. I love the dark humor. Like I said, I think the Congresswoman being hooked up to that thing and she's the mainframe is the most Fallout thing they could have done. The only nitpick that I really have is the fact that if you haven't played the games, you wouldn't necessarily know that the U.S. government and the Enclave are connected. So, I don't know if they're going to explain that or go into further detail in the next episode, or if they're just going to leave that up to, oh, well, if you've never played the games, no big deal. It's like, same thing with the Canadian thing. Like, unless you had played the games, it isn't really super apparent why the Canadians are internment camps, why all of this is even happening. it's probably a bit confusing for people who have only watched the show and don't have the context of the games. So, tiny little nitpick for any other viewers out there that aren't familiar with it. But other than that, easy 9 out of 10 show. I have to give it that rating. As Dave put it, the writing is so good. It just keeps getting better. And there's so much to love about this series. Is it next week yet?
I want it to be Tuesday night so bad. And now that we know it comes out Tuesday night at basically 9 p.m. Eastern time, just all the better. Which I'm glad you let us know, Dave, because I would have been waiting on Wednesday morning when I could have watched it the night before. But everyone out in the chat, let us know what your thoughts are on this episode. 1 to 10, 5 being average on the Doug scale. We have a few other things to talk about tonight.
Ooh, all right.
One of them being a trailer that dropped the other day. Don't know if you guys saw it.
Can we even show it?
Again, Disney lets us show their trailers. They never hit us. It's WB, Paramount, Netflix,
everybody
now Amazon
else.
Prime. Yes.
Oh, Amazon.
Yes, this one is allowed. So let's watch Daredevil Born Again Season 2 teaser trailer. It's so good that Season 2 is going to be how happy everybody is. Everyone's getting along, that showing everybody in a great mood. It's going to be a lovely, just filled with joy Season 2. Right, guys?
Oh yeah, it just filled my heart to see that Bullseye was just so happy about his milkshake there. That was the best part of that preview.
I like that he's got to have a bunch of whipped cream on it and stuff. It makes sense. You know, he's a ruthless killer who never misses. He likes his milkshakes. Can you blame
He
the
deserves
guy?
a little treat.
Yes.
Good. He deserves a job well done dessert.
Good for him.
I feel liberated, over-medicated.
I hope you can walk because I'm not carrying you.
Oh, I love her line. Total Jessica Jones. I hope you can walk because I'm not carrying you. But we saw a poster, too, that Matt Murdock is missing. So I don't know if he's gone into hiding because obviously the Kingpin knows who Daredevil is and probably going after him.
Wait,
And-
did it say missing? I thought it said wanted.
I thought it said missing.
Oh, maybe.
We'll have to watch it again. But either way.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. You start to feel the tension building up, and it looked like someone was mimicking the Kingpin there for a minute. And then flashed off it. I think we come back to it again. Let's get back to it, gentlemen.
Okay.
And it was already there, what you want, I can tell by the look on your...
Saw or shovel?
Such a great line. Saw or shovel? But it definitely seems like Kingpin is using his power completely and fully to run this city, which we expect at the end of last season. How we know, Daredevil Born Again Season 1 ended. He's in control. Obviously, Jessica Jones is coming back because Daredevil needs to get his own army. I'm assuming the Kingpin is going to keep bringing it over. Who do you think Bullseye is going to work with? Do you think he might form an alliance with Daredevil?
No, I don't see that happening.
He could be like a Darth Maul type of character, or a Loki, out for himself. But he definitely doesn't like the Kingpin.
Yeah, he definitely. You're right. That may be a better analogy. He won't be teaming with Daredevil. He may just be doing things that helps Daredevil in the long run by causing chaos.
That I could see.
Going against Wilson Fisk and everything.
It's the fact that, the first episode opened up with him killing
throwing him off
Matt's-
the roof.
Yeah, killing his best friend. I mean, I don't see how Matt's gonna forgive Bullseye for that, even if he needs to work them. Like, I don't know. I just don't see them being able to tolerate working with each other.
I could only see it if Matt is like, for stopping the greater evil, I'll work with you, but when this is over, your ass is going back to jail. And you're gonna get a whooping before it too. You're gonna.
Oh,
pick...
do you think it might end up being a situation like with Zola?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Oh, what if Matt is the one who breaks him out of jail?
Ooh.
Ooh.
How about that? That would have to get real extreme really fast for him to do that.
It would, and we may see that. We'll have to wait and see. It may just be he breaks out on his own. He can really do anything.
And then the Punisher, what the hell are you thinking? Oh my God, why would you do that? I'm gonna have to kill him now.
Punisher is not in this season, though.
Oh,
Which sucks.
that we know of.
True. We know for sure he's going to be in his special presentation, A Brand New Day. But according to most reports, he's not in this. But that would be a wonderful surprise if he does show up. You just see that smile on his face to end that scene. But man, we get to see some of the patented Daredevil action too, when he's sliding across the floor, throwing his billy clubs and all that. And yes, we do see Foggy, which I assume is a flashback.
That's what I assume.
We had a lot of theories because of, what the address was in the building where he got killed was an issue where he faked his death in the Daredevil comics and all that stuff. I think it would be hard to fake being thrown off a roof like that. And
yeah, the whole faking your death so you can come back to life later. That's definitely something they use in the comics a lot. And I don't like it in the comics. Whenever it's like a cheap, like, this person was dead 42 issues ago, but it turns out that they faked it. They took a special serum that stopped their heart for 5 minutes or something like that. And it's like, okay, whatever, comic book. But a TV show, come on, man. I hope they don't do that.
Yeah, no one ever dies in the comics.
Right.
Never truly. Even Jean Grey, who, when they killed her as the Phoenix, Jim Shooter, who was the editor-in-chief at the time, said she's not coming back. She's never coming back. And then, 5 years later,
so another writer is like, hey, what would be a great character to bring back?
We found Jean Grey's body at the bottom of the ocean. The Phoenix was never her. Oh, Jean Grey's back. No one's ever dead. I do love the fact that he's got the double D's on his chest. I should really rephrase that. I'm glad he has his initials on his costume.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the way you said it the first time. I also like double D's on that chest.
Yeah, he had an operation. Okay.
But he's wearing the dark suit. He's, I think it's going to be a pretty dark season to where he's going to have to go to help, get Kingpin out of power. We see Kingpin boxing too. I thought that was interesting. I wonder where that's going to go. But
I think he was. I'm going to guess in that scene that he's just sparring with somebody to get out his anger, and he ends up probably killing them because that's what he does. Gets a little overzealous.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's this channel on YouTube. It's called Not Your Status Quo.
Really?
You should write that down. Not Your Status Quo. No, they're terrible. They're the worst. All three of their hosts are ugly and not very smart. But they did put out this one video about the Kingpin that kind of goes into deep detail about his background and also his love of fighting and everything, all of his skills, including his martial arts and his boxing and everything. So it might be just something worth watching.
What was that?
And his ability to
Focus?
slam a car door on a face until it falls off.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of his superpowers.
Was that an In Focus on the Kingpin, perhaps?
It was. How did you know?
I think I've watched it. It was very well done.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the one thing that the release date is now March 24th. I don't know. I can't remember what it was on, but before we had seen something where it said March 4th.
Yeah.
And I saw a theory on why it's not March 4th. That March 4th date was a mistake because season 1 came out on March 4th and they didn't update the graphic. I think it was a poster or maybe something else. But yeah, I was a little not too disappointed. It's only 20 days. But when I saw March 24th, I was like, I thought it was the beginning of March. Oh, man.
Well, we're still getting a show that early, aren't we? We're going to get 2 shows that started at the same time, and then The Boys, right? So Invincible, that's still starting.
Invincible is, you know what? I have it all written down. We got Invincible, and then Maul, and then Daredevil. Let me tell you the dates. I got them all written down on my little handy dandy calendar here. Invincible, season 4 is March 18th. Daredevil Born Again is March 24th. Maul Shadow Lord is April 6th, and The Boys' final season is April 8th. So we're going to have possibly 3 or 4 shows going at the same time in early April.
And what do we got going on in February?
A whole lot of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Lead us up almost into March.
One whopping show for Wonder Man. One big show for Wonder Man. By the way, since we're on Marvel, how far did you guys get through that? Did you get through the whole thing yet?
3 episodes in.
Okay. Yeah, I got through 1. So
I'm digging it though. It's different. It's not a superhero show, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if it goes in what direction it goes, I guess I should say. I'm still being a little bit cautious.
Are you hoping for One Direction?
Ah,
David,
Where are
you
the dead
light
jokes?
up my world like nobody else. Okay.
Did you cash in a dad joke? What's going on?
Yeah,
I was
somebody did.
looking, Dave. I don't see one there.
No, I'm pretty sure it did. I thought I heard a beep, but yeah, it's all good. Okay, but Daredevil trailer looks great, to the surprise of nobody. Can't wait for March 24th. Didn't really. I mean, that was kind of short. It was only like a minute and 15 seconds, and that's with the Disney Plus ad and the title frame. But I did like how the title card went from kind of red to black, since his suit is, you know, obviously going to be black with those banging double D's on the chest.
And actually, that was when I was watching Wonder Man. That was the little preview that they had before Wonder Man.
Oh, they showed the trailer for it, for Daredevil?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That's awesome. I did not see that. Yeah, I'm 3 episodes in. The 4th one I'm about to start. That's called Doorman, which talks about the Great Lakes Avengers, Doorman, and Josh Gad maybe in it playing himself. Just so you guys know. But we got some more. We got some news, notes, rumors, all the good stuff. We're going to start with Marvel today because we're already talking about Marvel since Daredevil came out. This one's going to get you guys excited.
Okay.
I know you guys are going to be like, yeah! You guys might storm off set when you hear this wonderful news. Marvel is planning a special event to reveal the cast of Avengers Secret Wars.
Is it going to be more chairs?
Dave's gone. I knew this was going to happen. I saw that and I'm like, God, please learn your lesson. Do something with the actual cast and maybe bring them out and talk about it. Do not do chairs or something silly. I get it. You're trying to do something different, unique. That was just not fun or cool in any way. We all sat and watched it thinking something was going to happen. And all we saw basically was, hey guys, this could have been an email.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Which was terrible. But Marvel Studios, we talked about them recasting Black Panther. We talked about Aaron Pierre last week. We've heard this name before, and supposedly they met with him recently. Damson Idris, who was from F1. And according to Daniel RPK, a decision will be made soon. Which makes sense. Secret Wars is supposed to start filming this summer, so they're going to have to figure out who is, if they are recasting Black Panther, they're going to have to figure that out sooner rather than later. And Deadpool 4 is reportedly in the works at Marvel Studios. Ryan Reynolds is, this is what the report said, wisely focused on the development. I don't know what that really means.
Yeah,
But
what does that mean?
we did hear that the next Deadpool movie is going to be an X-Force movie.
Oh.
This will be post-Secret Wars, part of the mutant saga, so once again, this is one of those where I'm like, is somebody guessing that, or do they really have inside information? Because, X-Force is a very popular comic, was huge in the 90s, and it's had different iterations, throughout the years coming, so I guess we'll have to see. I know
As long as it maintains the same level of fun throughout the Deadpool movies,
Mm-hmm.
with anything they do.
Yep.
Seems like Ryan Reynolds has a hold on that character.
Thank goodness.
As long as Ryan Reynolds is involved, I have faith that
Yeah.
it's going to be a quality movie.
Well, as long as he is involved and, as Dave says, maintains control, because the last thing we need is another, studio interfering and saying, actually, I think Deadpool would be better if we sewed his mouth shut and gave him weird arm blades.
Yeah. Singular blades. Yes.
Yum.
This is
Say,
going
how
to
are
be
we? How are
so
we
good.
working on that new Phoenix Force movie?
Got it done. Got it down to 15 minutes.
The first act of the X-Men movie is the Dark Phoenix saga. Wait, the first act of the movie is?
First
Yeah,
act?
we really streamlined it. We don't need a whole movie anymore. We're gonna do other things after that. Is that a good idea? It is. Just trust us.
Believe me, yeah. We had to crank.
Get
to
in,
through that
get
so
out.
you get
That's
the
the
rest of
plan.
it.
That's all Phoenix Force really needs. If you think about it. She has cosmic powers that essentially make her a god. We're in, we're out. Move on to a new story.
Within the same movie. It's going to be great.
Within the same
We'll
movie,
do like
right?
Dark Phoenix, Days of Future Past, and Extinction Song.
In
all
the
in one
same
movie.
movie.
This is gonna be a blockbuster.
Wait. Hold on. I think I see a problem with this. Where's Apocalypse going to be?
Oh yeah. We'll just do the the Four Horsemen and Days of Apocalypse too. We'll get that.
Okay,
in there,
good.
yeah.
Thank you. That's what the
And we're going
fans
to keep it
want.
to
I'm
about
sorry.
an hour and a half.
Age of
Runtime.
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Hour and a half runtime on this one.
right.
We want to get screenings every hour and a half. We want to pump them out to make as much money as we can. Now, Marvel Studios is reportedly in talks with Joe Carey, that's Steve Harrington for you Stranger Things fans, for a role. And I love how they say this, with Nova being heavily speculated.
Okay.
I want Nova in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Carey's fine as an actor. He could probably pull it off. If he didn't get the role, would I be disappointed? I would not.
No.
He's a hot name right now because of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That's it.
We've heard all like Millie Bobby Brown is gonna be in the X-Men. Sadie Sink has obviously already joined the MCU and be in Spider-Man Brand New Day with a lot of potential mutants that she could be. So yeah, we're gonna hear this stuff. I don't know if this is necessarily true. I'm sure Marvel Studios talks to every hot actor out there and seeing if
Probably.
they're interested or what they could get them in. So it probably happened. Just get Nova cast. Let's get a Nova movie. Let's move towards Annihilation. Which, if you're watching our gaming channel, we're doing Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, and it's
I'm sorry, Keith, did you say we have a gaming channel?
yes, we do. Fellow
Oh,
Nerds
what's it called?
Gaming. Fellow Nerds Gaming.
Wow.
Good
And
stuff.
can we get to that on the YouTube?
You can get to it on the YouTubes.
Wow.
It's awesome. New video dropping probably Saturday. Level 2 of it. It's cool. It's all good stuff. All good stuff.
Well, I'm going to have to go and like and subscribe.
Thank you, sir. As everyone should. And now, our last Marvel little bit for today. I know you guys are excited. Dave's watched one episode. I don't know if Doug's watched any.
I've
But
watched 2.
Marvel Studios already have ideas for Wonder Man Season 2.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And honestly, I mean, this seems like... I want to phrase this correctly. I don't think the budget is breaking the bank.
No, no.
But, once again, I'm still enjoying it. But yeah, I think they could. And I don't know. A lot of people, it's doing very well critically. It's doing very well audience scores. I don't know how many views it's getting. Social media, everyone's pretty positive about it, having good things. I've been trying to stay away from it because I don't want spoilers, because I can't watch 8 episodes on a Tuesday night because, you know, I got a full-time job, I got kids, things are going on. Plus I had Fallout to watch. And I did watch Fallout first because I was like, we're seven, this is the 7th episode of the 2nd season. There's a lot going on. And we're not talking Wonder Man until next Monday. So make sure you tune in next Monday. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Wonder Man. But, you know, hopefully, Daniel, oh my God, what's his name?
RPK?
No, not RPK. Not Daniel RPK, the director of Brand New Day, who did Shang-Chi.
Oh. I forgot.
Daniel Destin Cretin.
Villanueva.
But, you know, he did this. He's doing Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he has a lot of ideas. He's doing Shang-Chi too. So a lot of good things coming from him. And hopefully, you know, this does good enough and he gets a 2nd season. Hopefully, you know, we've heard a rumor that if Spider-Man Brand New Day does really well, Marvel Studio wants him to direct the next Avengers movie during the Mutant Saga. And hopefully that means Wonder Man will be an Avenger. Yes.
It would take an awful lot for a Spider-Man movie to be bad. I mean, a lot of things would have to go wrong for people to not rush to go see a Spider-Man movie. I mean, out of all the movies that we've gone to where we're a little disappointed by the butts and seats at the theater, we did not have that issue with both of our viewings of No Way Home.
Yep.
Because for those of you that do not know, we saw it twice. We saw it once when it was originally released, and then we saw the even more fun edition.
Well, Doug, you might have just metaphorically bought a popcorn tin there. We never know if they're going to trip. And now, now we say they can do no wrong. Let's hope that we didn't just jinx them.
Yeah, okay, fair. I would hope they wouldn't drop the ball because, like, these movies are so good. And in fact, honestly, anytime I could go and watch it whenever I want, but anytime, like, you know, it's on TV and I see, like, Spider-Man Homecoming, I'm like, sure, I'll watch that. That's a really good movie. It's probably, this will sound like, you know, I'm sure there's people out there like, oh, I'm going to light the torch after Doug. Honestly, I think out of all of the Spider-Man home movies, I think Homecoming's probably one of my favorites.
I don't think that's
It shows
outrageous.
it's probably just the most grounded Spider-Man we've gotten in a while. I like the fact that he's, you know, got to rely on just his basic powers. I thought that Vulture was such a perfect villain, the MCU version of Vulture. Trust me, he's way weirder in the comics. But yeah, I love that movie. It's fantastic. I'll watch it whenever it's on.
Michael Keaton made him relatable and likable.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Michael Keaton still that scene when he's in the car and he figures out Peter Parker's Spider-Man is still one of my favorite scenes.
Shivers.
In any MCU movie. It's just like good old Spider-Man. I'm just like, oh, so good. Okay, that is it for the Marvel stuff. We do have a DC one. We've kind of heard this before. We've heard that a Jimmy Olsen series was coming about where it's like a fictional true crime sort of docu-series and Jimmy Olsen is the host.
Okay.
It is supposed to start filming in April in Atlanta at the same time as Man of Tomorrow.
Please tell me it's going to co-host his new girlfriend.
I hope so, but it didn't say. It does say that returning Daily Planet cast is Perry White, Steve Lombard, Cat Grant, and Ron Trout. Doesn't say anything
Nice.
about Oh my god, I can't remember her name.
Lois?
No, not Lois. His girlfriend.
Oh, his girlfriend.
Alexis.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
with the ugly feet. Supposedly.
Yes. Nah, it doesn't matter.
It seems like the show would be just the secondary characters. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, supposedly, once again, it's supposed to be introducing supervillains and stuff into the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 is supposed to focus on Gorilla Grodd.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know how they would do that without introducing some heroes. So maybe we get the Flash, maybe we get some other things going on. But when they first said, it's beginning production in Atlanta in April, I'm like, that's exactly where Man of Tomorrow is filming. So that very well could be.
Could have some scenes
Mm-hmm.
that are in both
Yep, film at the same
show
time.
and movie.
Yeah. Sort of like how we got a cameo from Peacemaker and Superman.
It could be, and they could be having like a TV on in the background. Here's what's happening with Superman,
Yeah.
during the show, or vice versa, since it's supposed to be a TV show that he's hosting, right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen is
So.
hosting it, yes.
What if it opened like every episode with Clark having to make a new excuse for why he's got to run off?
Oh, that would be great. That would be good. Okay.
Hey, look, a phone booth.
I still
Really?
love-
Wow, there's still payphones? I thought they took all those out.
Nope, there's that one. They call it the TARDIS.
Whoa. All right, our final little bit of news / rumor is Star Wars related.
Okay.
And we kind of talked about this in Slack, but I wanted to bring it up to the fellow nerds out in the chat tonight. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse film will reportedly be reworked into a limited series for Disney Plus if The Mandalorian and Grogu flops at the box office.
Supposedly.
Rumor, yes. I hope that's not the case. I hope, because I'm pretty excited. I want to see Thrawn. I want to see the team. I want to see Ahsoka and maybe Din Djarin and Boba Fett and Hera and what's his name? Like
Rey Skywalker.
No, she's not around yet. This is prior to that. So
No.
she's coming in Simon Canberg's wonderful trilogy. That'll be the Dark Phoenix Saga and Executioner Son. Wait, no.
The Dark Skywalker saga.
Yes.
Oh boy.
She's
Here
gonna
we
turn
go.
to the dark side. But no, Ezra Bridger, Hera, all that good stuff. See that come about. I want to see that on the big screen. I mean, if it's on Disney Plus, I'm fine too. I'll watch it. But I just want Star Wars to come back. I just want Star Wars to be huge again. It's taken a hit. They've made some, mistakes, but they've done a lot of good too. So we'll see.
The last major Star Wars thing we had, out of anything, would have been Andor season 2. I mean, what did we even have before? I'm trying to think. What was the last thing before that?
Ahsoka. Or the Acolyte was right before that.
Oh, the kids one, right?
Oh yeah, Skeleton
Oh,
Crew.
your Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. Yeah, that's right.
Which is obviously not very memorable. It's not sticking out in your head.
It's funny that you remember the Acolyte more than Skeleton Crew.
Right. It's because we hated it so much. That's why.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew was enjoyable, and I forget about it all the time. Jude Law was
right.
reading it. The kids were good, but yeah, I guess.
And the kids were good. Didn't we say we didn't like the kids in that one?
No,
No, I
liked
thought they were
Neil
decent
and-
actors.
Yeah.
Which show was it that we didn't like the kids acting?
Acolyte.
Was it the Acolyte?
No, there was
Yeah.
something else too that I was so. Oh, it was The Last of Us. No, it wasn't The Last of Us.
No, because there really weren't that many kid actors in that.
There was
Oh,
something
man.
that every week we were like, "What? These kids are almost ruining the show for us."
Was it Skeleton Crew?
No, it was not. It was definitely not
Insane.
Skeleton Crew.
What did we watch recently where it had kids in it? Boy.
Because
I'm
it
struggling to
definitely
remember.
wasn't Welcome to Derry, because those kids were fantastic.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
definitely not Welcome to Derry. Oh my
Hmm.
God, what the heck was it? Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Wasn't Gen V. Wasn't Peacemaker. Oh, it was Alien
Right.
Earth.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh yeah, those. Yeah, there.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah. Forgot all about that. Yes, those kids were the worst.
That's because we never finished it. Well, we finished watching it. We didn't finish reviewing it.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That finale was nothing special to talk about. But that's all we got tonight. We should probably find somebody to raid. Don't
Agreed.
forget that Monday we are talking A Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode 3. We'll be talking the 8-episode Wonder Man drop we got on Tuesday night. A lot to talk about, a lot of fun things.
Yes.
We'll have next Thursday the season finale, season 2 of Fallout. Got high hopes for that, but let's find somebody to raid.
Well, we got Bubble playing Fallout 3 again, or if you
Yep.
want, we can look
Yeah.
for somebody else that's playing something.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, Bubble's got like 900 people. Let's see.
Mhm.
We definitely can. Don't get me wrong. Just wonder if there's anybody else.
Sarah Marvelous is playing Fallout 4.
Oh, I haven't heard of that person. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, that works for me. Let's crawl.
It's all
out.
one word. Sarah with an H. Sarah with an H. Marvelous. All one word. All lowercase.
Oh, I spelled
And
it.
for those of you out there wondering, what is Keith talking about? What is this? Who are we rating Sarah Marvelous? That sounds like a perfectly nice individual. Why would you raid them like some sort of, I don't know, Vikings? Well, rating is what we do if we want to keep the party going, so to speak, here on Twitch. So, we might be done with our stream. We've talked about Fallout. We've talked about our news, notes, and rumors. So now we'd like to take all of our lovely folks that are watching over on Twitch and go hang out on another channel playing Fallout 4, since that's kind of the theme of tonight. But we know that if you're out there watching us on YouTube, there's not the same thing. There's no easy way to raid, so to speak, on YouTube. But we still love you. And if you could, make sure that you like the channel, subscribe, but most important, we want to hear from you. Tell us what you think about this episode and more. Get in the comments down below, and as per usual, we'll see you next time on Monday on Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.